Hey friend, I have a guided reading for you today. Feel free as I'm talking to gaze at the cards, see if anything tickles your own intuition. Remember, some things may resonate more and some things may resonate less, but the important part is that you are growing. So let's go ahead and get started. Guiding our reading today, we have death. Now, death is not necessarily anything to be feared. Right now, death is coming in as a reminder about life, as a reminder to really be present in the moment and enjoy the experiences that we're having while we're here on this side. And he's also coming in as a bridge between our ancestors, right? Between my ancestors and your ancestors to be able to deliver this message for us today. Starting out, we have the Five of Wands. You've probably had an experience recently that has kind of been there to help you grow, maybe some sort of a challenge or difficulty, but you really kind of skated through it unharmed, right? Instead of like the Five of Swords, where you would have that win at all costs type of energy, when we have the Five of Wands, right? These individuals, these guys, they're practice fighting, they're play fighting in order to kind of like really help each other grow, to develop their skills, to be able to continue to strengthen who they are and, be able to kind of be more effective at their abilities and their crafts, right? So you've had some sort of an experience lately that might have been a close call, right? Because when you look at the Five of Wands, right, none of these staffs that these individuals are play fighting with have actually touched each other, right? So whatever experience you've had recently or at some point in your life has been for, like I said, for the purpose of helping you to grow and really hone your skills, but you've always managed to really come out of it unharmed, really unscathed, right? And this is evidence that the purpose wasn't to cause you any kind of harm, but to really just kind of help develop your skills. Next up, we have the Page of Pentacles, right? The Page of Pentacles is that inner child who really just is in the moment, present, enjoying the sweetness of life, right? They're standing there, feet on the grass, not really in a hurry to go anywhere, just enjoying life as it is right now. So whatever the experience you've had is for the purpose of getting you to enjoy where you are, to be able to be really present in the life that you are living. Next up, I have the Chariot, okay? And when we think of the Chariot and the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, they would actually be sitting down, not moving, outside of a city that had just been destroyed, that death had just gone through. Whatever that being the case, maybe you came from some sort of a toxic environment or you had some sort of a situation that really wasn't ideal, really wasn't helpful for your growth or for anybody else's growth, so you left that behind. The situation was created in order for you to leave that city that death has swept through in order for you to continue to grow, right? You can move forward with this balance, with this understanding that the ups and the downs of life both contribute to your growth, both contribute to your movement forward. Next up is the Lovers. Hold on, gotta cover this for YouTube. All right, when I'm looking at the Lovers here right now, I'm getting this idea of the connection between our mind and our heart, right? That mental space and that emotional space between the physical and the non-physical, right? You now have some sort of a bridge in your conscious waking awareness between the other side and this side, right? You have this active connection between your intuition and your logical mind that has been brought to you as a result of your experience, that has been, developed in you because your ancestors wanted to have that connection, so you realize the continuation of life, the continuation of who you are, so that way you can be present in the moment in your life now without necessarily being in a rush. And this was a gift, right? We have this Six of Cups, right? That's the nostalgia card. That could be the gifts from your ancestors, a gift from your inner self to your outer self, from you to your inner child, right? The connection here is a gift for you, some sort of a blessing, right? Because you are absolutely loved and guided and protected by your family and spirit, by your spirit guides, by your higher self, but especially by your ancestors in this reading. And this was to bring you into a certain kind of level of power with the Queen of Wands. They wanted you to really be able to step into this kind of the Witch of the Tarot, that magic, your personal power, right? The Queen of Wands, she's very magnetic. She, her joy brings to her experiences that she wants for herself. She says to the universe, hey, I'd like to experience this, right? And then she's got this magnetic personality where the universe says, yes, I'm going to give this to you. You deserve this. So you have been brought to this to develop this awareness of yourself, to really develop your magnetism, that when you go about life and you're really just kind of enjoying things and you're in your joy, you naturally tend to attract toward you wonderful things. Maybe you were kind of daydreaming a little bit. Your head was in the clouds with the Seven of Cups here, right? The Seven of Cups being that possibilities. What if I do this? What if I do that? What are the things available to me? What experiences could I have? And you had all these daydreams, but your ancestors and your spirit guides in other forms, they want you to be able to step out of this daydreaming about your reality, all these possibilities which do in fact exist for you on the other side, and bring some sort of concrete reality to your dreams, right? They want you to really wake up with this Nine of Swords, right? Maybe you've had some sort of scary experience, like I said, something that it seemed like a close call, but it was really designed to wake you up, right? The Nine of Swords being that waking up. Yes, there's that anxiety and the fear that we typically see with this card, but it really is about bringing you into a conscious awareness, about stepping away from the things that you fear into a more fearless way of living your life. This is an activation. We have the Ace of Wands, right? You see the DNA strand in the Ace of Wands here. This is your own capacity, your own natural gifts, the gifts that come to you through your lineage. Maybe you've got artists in your family and you're starting to really, realize your own talents and unfold your own creativity, or, some other form of gifts and talents that run in your family that you're really starting to see now that you have available to you because you are part of this. And there is this exchange, right? The Six of Pentacles. You probably have done a certain amount of work within yourself, your own healing, dealing with whatever ancestral, traumas and karmas and, energies that have been passed down through your family. And because you've done this work, your ancestors want to return that blessing to you, right? You've done for them and now they want to do for you. So there is this exchange, this give and take. And because of the experiences you have had, you come into this Two of Swords, right? When I'm thinking of the Two of Swords, it's not the you shall not pass type of energy. We see that a lot of times with readers who will interpret it as that. That's a more modern interpretation. Initially, the Two of Swords was actually more of an I'm not impeding you type of an energy, right? If you got two swords crossed over your chest like this, it's a very impractical position to try to start a fight from. It's a very impractical position to try to stop somebody from. And she is blindfolded, right? So you have gotten to a point where you've experienced enough in your own life and you've experienced enough about who you are that you're not really judgmental of other types of people, right? You can see somebody else who's stuck in their own limitations with our Eight of Swords reversed here, right? You see that blindfold, right? You had that blindfold yourself. You've known what it's like to feel limited and trapped, but now you have an experience that teaches you could take those blindfolds off yourself and that you can take the bindings off and step away. But you see other people who maybe are still feeling stuck, who maybe still believe in these limitations about themselves. And the reason you've been shown that you are not limited is so that way you can help other people to also understand that they're not limited either, right? We have the World, and then following up behind the World, I have the Fool. So we have this, the endings and the brand new beginnings. You're really here to help people step outside of an old paradigm, an old story, and really step into a new adventure, into new potential. Okay? And sometimes that looks kind of mundane, right? We have this Eight of Pentacles. That's the just, putting in the practice, putting in the repetition, right? You are developing your skills and you're honing your skills, right? These talents that you have, that you've discovered in yourself, the gifts that you have to share with others you practice them as just part of your day-to-day life, right? It becomes more natural. It's just something that you do, right? Yes, you are going to improve. Yes, you're going to get better. And it does ultimately lead to something bigger for yourself. But you're able to just kind of be in the moment and just enjoy the practice, right? We have that Knight of Pentacles. That's that one step at a time, just, enjoying the scenery. Yes, you are moving forward. We do gradually move forward in our lives, right? Where, one day you can look back and you say, hey, where's all the time gone? But while you're in it, you're just one step at a time, just enjoying where you're at in your life, enjoying the process, enjoying the scenery as things unfold. Because ultimately, one day, you will reach the end of this life. But this isn't a scary or intimidating thing, because if you notice Death here, he's not in this bleak background. It's not anything scary, right? He's in this beautiful forest. We got the butterfly here. We got the forest growing around. You know that when something decays, it nurtures something else, right? You know that when it finally does come time for you to pass on to the next thing, that it is the next thing, that you will be refreshed, that you will be renewed, that you will be stepping into a new adventure. And we're only pretending right now, only playing at being separate, at being left out, right? I have the Five of Pentacles, and I pulled this out, and I was like, okay, we got all these possibilities, we got these gifts and this connection, and it's like, but then why are we feeling this energy of being left out? And then I was looking closer at the card. I don't know how well you can see it, but this individual here, his tunic underneath the rags is actually really nice. It's not torn up, it's not messed up. You're just pretending to be separate, right? While we're here in this life, we have this experience of like, I'm on my own, I'm separate, I'm not part of the whole. But then when we get into the next step, when we get into the next experience, when we pass on, then we realize our connectedness. We realize we were never separate in the first place. And you can have that experience now. You have had an experience that's taught you you are part of the whole, that's taught you you're part of the bigger picture, and that you were connected to everything, so that way you don't get surprised. You don't have this, the Page of Cups being that surprise. You would think of the fish, leaping out of the cup, and they're like, oh, I didn't expect that in there. But you do expect the wonder, you do expect the inspiration, you do expect the joy that is available to you, because you've had something that's taught you who you are. And who you are is the Empress, right? The Empress is that embodiment of the divine feminine in the physical form, that is bringing that realization that everything is available to you and everything is within you, and bringing it down, grounded into our physical reality. She's weaving on this wheel here, which, if you can see, it's got the zodiac signs on it. All the experiences that you have in life, all the things that, you have available to you because of when you were born, the particular time that you are existing in this world, is for the purpose of you creating something, right? You are creating by weaving your experiences, by taking what you have in your life and where you're going, and kind of just really weaving this thread to create something beautiful, to create this experience in yourself. And you can have this kind of playfulness while you're juggling your, day-to-day responsibilities, right? The Two of Pentacles being that juggling, right? Yeah, you go to work, you come home, you take care of your responsibilities, but because you know who you are, and because you know the joy that's available to you, you can go about your day-to-day things just enjoying the process. Like, okay, I gotta go to the bank today. You have fun at the bank. And I know that sounds kind of odd, but it's not the external experiences that are giving you the joy. It's that you are bringing the joy to those external experiences. And you realize that when you have that joy, when you bring that to your reality, you can really create all these possibilities for yourself, that the whole world is out in front of you. You have all this potential that is available, and you can decide to yourself, what do I want, right? Instead of being in this Seven of Cups, instead of the head in the clouds, thinking about what are all the possibilities, you're looking out to the reality of the world that you live in and the reality of the experiences that you can have for yourself and what you can create for yourself. All right, friends, nice little reminder. Your ancestors really want you to be able to enjoy and live life fully, consciously aware right here, right now, and that this inspires others to wake up and really be present in the moment and bring joy into their present experiences. If this reading has been helpful for you, if it's been, positive thing, I would absolutely love it if you would leave me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment in the comment section. Kind of let me know, maybe if you've had any experiences that kind of really brought you into this sense of a bigger picture. If you don't know what to comment, you can leave me a sunflower. That is a spirit guide of mine to let me know you see me. It also really helps the algorithm. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and subscribe. Click on the bell icon and click on all. You're not really guaranteed to see a video anymore just because you're subscribed to a channel with the changes to the algorithm. Then head into my channel, find a video that resonates with you, and I will see you in the next one.